Hi, I'm Ruby Lopez.
And I'm Brendan Moran. Welcome to Creek Currents. This month we've got a story on how some Walnut Creek locals banded together to make California history. Plus, I get the lowdown on what's new for Broadway Plaza.
And shopping isn't the only great find downtown. I recently took a special tour and discovered there's lots of great art just around the corner. Well, today we are here at the Bedford Gallery, and you know the gallery offers public art walk tours, so I am joined by docent Jane Emanuel, and she is going to take us on a private tour right now. So shall we get going?
Let's go.
Well, we're in front of a lovely piece of art right now, but Jane, before we talk about the art, talk to us about Walnut Creek's public art program.
Sure, I'd love to do that. Walnut Creek's been committed to having public art in the city for a long time, back as far as the 80s, and it's a really strong commitment to culture, which I think is just fabulous. There are two sources. One is from the private developers, and they're required to place a piece of art at their project that is equal to 1% of the construction cost of their property, or they can choose to put money into an in lieu fund instead.
We're standing in front of a really cool piece of art right now. Do you have a story behind this one?
Well, I have a good story, but I'm going to tell you, Ruby, I'm not going to tell you that story until you come on the public art walking tour.
Okay, all right.
So our tours, by the way, are the third Saturday of the month at 11 a.m. We run them April through November, and we meet at the Leisure Center for the Arts. And these tours take about an hour. We have 4 different routes. And we'd love to have you and all the listeners come.
Perfect. Now, you are going to share some tidbits today, but if you want this one, you have to come on the tour, right? Okay, okay, deal.
So, you know, public art can say and do a lot of things, and one of the things that this piece does is tell us a little bit about the history of Walnut Creek. Yoshio Taylor is the artist, and so the artist talked about what this area was like millions of years ago, so that the water and the flora and the fauna of the area are represented on there. And then at the top we have the grape leaves for lots of grape growing. But the really nice thing is that on the very top are students. And the connection to this area is that this is actually the location of the first elementary school in Walnut Creek.
Oh, wow.
So I love the fact that he put students at the top.
I noticed that there's also a bench around here, and this really makes the perfect gathering place for this beautiful piece of art.
Yeah, and that's one of the things about public art, to bring people together and have a good time sitting around and enjoy what they've got to look at as well. Yeah, it's great.
Well, we're inside the Walnut Creek Library now, and Jane, you said there are quite a few pieces here, right?
There are 40 pieces of art tucked in and around. You've got to walk around all the aisles to see it. It's kind of a lot of fun, really.
Lots to enjoy, and we're also standing in front of a piece of art, right?
Right.
Tell me something interesting about it.
Well, they're all made of individual books. They're all handmade books, and there are 12 shades of gray, only 12, and it goes from white to black, and they're arranged in such to create kind of like a mosaic or pixelated picture. And the artist is kind of playing around with the idea of being quiet in a library. And today in libraries we have teen rooms and kid rooms and computers and meeting rooms, so it's a much bigger hub of activity than libraries of old. So it's kind of a little bit of a joke.
Yeah, so now we don't have to because it really is a gathering place, so you can walk around and enjoy the art as well.
That's right.
Okay, well, let's continue our tour.
Okay, so this is Fountainhead by Syed Alavi. It's one of our newer pieces in town.
And I can't tell you, Jane, I am so excited that you chose to stop here, because I've driven by here numerous times and always wondered about this, and I'm excited to hear about, all about this artwork.
Well, it's really a fun piece. It's gotten a lot of attention, and everybody who walks by loves to visit and sit and take a look at it. And interestingly, this piece is one of the first public-private partnership projects in the public art program for Walnut Creek. So that means that the Downtown Business Association, the Mechanics Bank and Wells Fargo Bank, and the city all partnered to be able to fund these two fountains.
So what was the artist's thoughts behind the piece? Where's the inspiration?
Well, he spent a lot of time sitting around and studying Walnut Creek and realizing that this street is a heavily pedestrian street and it would be a good meeting spot. And he was thinking that this is water, and how in ancient times women would come every morning to the fountain in the middle of the town, visit with each other and take their buckets home for the day. So that was one of his influences, and then the other one had to do with water as being the source of life. And he thought about in mythological times where Athena, the goddess of wisdom, was to have been born out of Zeus's head. So that started him thinking about head. And he thought about a baby with a fontanelle at the top of the head and growing together and growing wisdom. And so that kind of was the genesis for coming up with this wonderful head that we wonder, who is it? Is it coming up out of the water? Is it going down into the water? It's a very peaceful piece. Many people have wondered whether it's a Buddha or a baby or an old man, which is kind of the fun of art, because you get to think whatever it is that it speaks to you. And so it's
really however you interpret it.
That's for sure.
Well, Jane, thank you so much. I really enjoyed this art walk.
Well, I enjoyed it too. Thanks for coming.
Now, what if our viewers, were intrigued and they want to come take a part of the artwork? How can they get involved?
Well, they can get more information at bedfordgallery.org. And remember that our tours are on the third Saturday of the month at 11 a.m. We meet in front of the Lesher Center for the Arts, and we hope to see you then.
Yes, Jane, thank you. It was really fun, and we hope to see you out here enjoying the walk. Now, the Bedford also offers school tours of the gallery that are completely free to Contra Costa students. So if you'd like to find out some more information on this program and their other great programs, just head on over to their website.
Some other great programs for kids can be found as part of the Walnut Creek Open Space program. But the story of how the open space came to be might surprise you.
Walnut Creek was very much in a transition. We were either going to be a town with our own identity, or we were going to be seeing any number of developments. In the early 1970s, we were seeing a great deal of growth. Many people coming to the suburban communities. There was a 200-acre parcel of land at the end of Walnut Boulevard that was proposed for development. And there were no sewers, electricity, anything up there. And so it was all going to be brought in. And as that property were to be developed, it was going to open up many hundreds of acres all the way up Mount Diablo. So it was a whole new craziness that the citizens of Walnut Creek were very concerned about. And Bob Schroeder, who was the mayor of Walnut Creek at the time, said we either needed to put our money where our mouths were and do something about stopping this type of development, or let it go. So that's where it started. So we started by sending out letters to all sorts of groups. It was definitely a grassroots effort, and we were very conscious that we wanted to make it a community-wide effort, not a special interest group. And that was very important to us, that this be something that all citizens could grasp. We had enough money collected that we were able to hire a consulting firm. We put together figures of $6.75 million as being the amount of money that we could afford to buy this property. So that was what was put on the June 4th, 1974 election. We were thinking of open space, parks, and trails, so that we wanted every part of the city to have something, because we were taxing ourselves for, in 1974, an additional $35 a year on our property taxes. And at that time, people were more conscious that $35 was a lot. There was a group of about a half a dozen of us that went around and talked to anybody that would listen to us. We also, at this time, there was a big transition in the city council, and we had great support from the city. So we really had support from many, many different groups. It was an absolutely amazing experience. The weekend before the Tuesday election, we used the rest of our campaign money and rented a cable car. And we had dignitaries and city council and children, many of our own children, on this cable car all over the city. And we had flowers, and we were giving out flowers, just reminding people. Then after the election, I can remember being interviewed by the newspaper and, awestruck that this was, to the best of our knowledge, the largest bond passed by citizens to preserve open space parks. To me, one of the awesome things is that you can park your car, say, at Indian Valley School or Sutherland and walk 500 feet and feel as though you're not seeing another house or hearing anything except nature. And to me, that's the awesome thing, that it's right at our back door. I feel very proud of what we have succeeded in doing, in preserving this land. But we must be watchdogs for forever to preserve this identity and to keep it the way we are. And I think it is a proud accomplishment, and I think the people of Walnut Creek should be very proud of what we've done.
Now, a great way to enjoy the open space and celebrate the city centennial is to head on over to Heritage Day at Borges Ranch on May 17th, and tickets are now on sale.
I already got mine.
Cool.
Ruby, have you noticed all the construction going around downtown?
I have. What's happening?
Well, I found out. Check this out. Hey, I'm Brendan Moran with Creek Currents, and today I'm with Tracy Dietlein at Broadway Plaza, and she's going to tell us all about the stuff we can expect to see over the next couple of years. Right, Tracy?
Yeah. Broadway Plaza is having some work done. We are about to embark on a $260 million renovation that will bring added stores, more parking, and a better shopper experience.
So, specifically, what are we talking about? What's being done right now? I can see the fences up behind us and so forth.
Yes.
So what's the first plan?
The first plan is the fencing is going up, and the first thing you'll see come down is our Nordstrom side parking deck. That will be going down shortly and then be rebuilt by holiday of this year, 2014. Also being demoed are the stores between Nordstrom and Macy's, and then those stores will be rebuilt but opening in phases starting in fall of 2015.
So you've got a lot of work cut out for you here.
Yes, we do, yeah.
This is not a small project.
No, it's not.
Now, the current Broadway Plaza was a couple years old, right?
62 years old.
More than a couple.
Yeah.
So it kind of needed a facelift.
Needed a facelift.
Kind of just put in your own words, what's it going to look like when it's all done?
Well, it's probably going to be a little more modern than it is now, but it's going to keep the charm and charisma that the property has today, because that is very important to the community and important to us. I mean, that's what Broadway Plaza is known for.
Yeah.
So it'll just be a little more updated.
And you already have quite a few tenants signed up, as I understand, right?
Leasing is evolving. What you've seen is we've closed down the stores between Nordstrom and Macy's. Now, a lot of those stores have moved over to this side of the plaza and have reopened over here. And then our leasing people are working on bringing great new retailers to the project that will start opening in 2015.
So it's important for people to know that they can still come down here and shop,
Yes,
correct?
please do. Yeah.
Yeah.
The stores are open. All of our anchors are open. Parking is available. And if you don't, we have 2 parking garages open. We have our Macy's side garage open, and we have our Main Street parking garage open. But if you don't want to deal with that, we also have complimentary valet 7 days a week.
I valeted my car
You did,
actually
yeah.
to get here like that.
Yes. Yeah, it's a great promotion, and we'll continue to do that throughout construction.
Yeah. What else can you tell me?
Well, our Macy's for Women's store is also expanding. It's going to expand by 57,000 square feet, and they've actually already started their demo as well. And you'll see that open in fall 2015. Next year, after we've rebuilt the Nordstrom side of the parking deck, in January of next year, you'll see the Macy's side go down, and that will once again be rebuilt up by next holiday 2015. And then once all the retailers open on that side of the property, then this side of the property, our Macy's for Men's building will consolidate into the Macy's for Women's building, and we're going to reconstruct that building on this side of the property.
So how important is it for Broadway Plaza to sort of get more of a modern look as far as trying to get people to, come to Walnut Creek to shop?
It's very important. Broadway Plaza is the heart of this community, and we want to keep it relevant to our shoppers and to beyond that, so they'll come to Walnut Creek and they'll shop here.
So how's it been dealing with the city?
It's been great. This has been a team effort. There are a lot of people involved, from the city staff to the city council to all the commissions, and everybody's just worked really well together. It's been a big project, but everybody's hung in there, and we're excited to keep moving forward with it.
Great. Tracy, thank you very much for your time. Now, since I'm down here though, I gotta tell you, I need a new pair of jeans.
Oh, we've got plenty of
Help me
stores
out?
open.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This way?
Or Lucky Brand Jeans right behind you.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll talk to you later.
All right,
Okay.
thanks.
Now, for those of you who didn't know, Ruby, Broadway Plaza has their own app, complete with a store locator, product search, and a virtual concierge. Head on over to their website to download it for yourself.
Very fancy, I like it. And now we're gonna leave you with some images of the Bedford Gallery Sky exhibit running until May 25th. So make sure you head on over and check it out for yourself.
We'll see you next time on Creek Currents.
Sky, nubes, cloud, parcialmente nublado. Birds. Sky, clouds, partly cloudy.
Fast, automatic, fast.
Mysterious abilities, mirrored in the sky.